Committee.
Welcome. My name is Wilson Kajrenje. I represent Nyabsho's constituency in Chiruhura district and the chairperson of this very, very important committee. It's on.
I'm Rosit Biengoma. I'm the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense and Veteran.
Secretary Finance Administration and Accounting Officer, Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Chair and members. I'm Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga. I accompanied the Minister of Defense.
Welcome.
Honorable Chair, and honorable members, Parliament, my name is Major General Leopold Kianda. I'm the Joint Chief of Staff of the UPDF.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Ak'ebyokwerinda, Lieutenant General, retired General Man.
Welcome, General Lakara.
Morning, Chair. Major General Sam Chiwamka, Chief Production and Welfare, UPDF.
Deputy MD Beck.
Welcome.
Good morning, sir. I'm Brigadier General Charles Bakahumura, Chief of Logistics and Engineering.
Welcome, General Bakahumura.
Good morning, Chair. I'm the Deputy Chief of Military Intelligence, Uganda People's Defense Forces.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Charlotte Kajumba, Principal Budget of.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Dennis Badije, Assistant Commissioner Accounts, Ministry of Defense.
Welcome.
I'm Brigadier General, retired Emmanuel Mzinguzi, Director Veteran Affairs.
Welcome.
Under Secretary, working with the Air
Force. Mike Wambi, in charge of resettlement, psychosocial support, and rehabilitation for veterans.
You're welcome.
Morning, Chair. Doris Arinetwe, an economist under Ministry of Defense.
Muhanguzi, the Chief of Policy and Planning. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Muhanguzi.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Kano George Mkanda, Director, Budget, UPDF.
Welcome.
Morning, Chair. I'm Kano Robert Mugabe, Chief Controller of Finance.
Chief Controller of Finance. Yes, Chair. Welcome.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Brigadier General Dr. Patrick Ochen, Deputy Chief of Medical Services, UPDF.
Welcome, Dr. Chen.
Yeah, morning, Chair and honorable members. I am Brigadier General Engineer Besigye Bekunda, Commander, UPDF Engineers Brigade.
Most welcome.
Morning, Chair. My name is Ronald Mjisha. I work as a military assistant to Minister of Defense. Thank you.
Okay.
My name is David Wamai, Uganda Air Cargo Corporation.
Most welcome. Oh, Uganda Air Cargo.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Ronnie Amolo Smats, Principal Policy Analyst.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Tito Okello. I'm a senior economist in the Ministry of Finance.
Thank you. Okay, I'll give a chance to honorable colleagues who have just joined us also to introduce themselves. Yeah, I see Honorable Migade. Ministers and colleagues, I'm Migade Robert Ndugwa, MP of Highlands, but today I'm here as the chairperson Uganda Parliamentary Circle. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Most welcome. The Honorable Minister who just joined us, kindly introduce yourself.
Morning, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Minister of Defense in charge of Veteran Affairs, and I wish all of you Happy New Year.
Thank you. Okay, honorables and the team of the Republic of Uganda. For those of you who are coming here for the very first time, this is your parliament. It's a people's parliament, and when we say people's parliament, that includes defense as well, including while you also protect people's property and territorial integrity and sovereignty, your coming here is absolutely in order and very vital, we wish you a very happy and prosperous new year. This is a committee of defense and internal affairs. It's a committee, it is your committee. This is where you always come and you have your budget appropriated and you exchange ideas, your dreams, your plans. Everything else is certified here. Our coming here, or this meeting, is act in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and other enabling laws or rules of procedure, Public Finance Management Act. We are coming here in the month of January to discuss the budget framework paper for the year 2024-2025. We welcome you, and I can say on behalf of the committee that we appreciate that the whole defense team, both civilian and military, has turned up. Congratulations for giving this its due respect. And I can tell you the committee is fully constituted and here, and they are willing to listen to you. Today is your day, especially this morning. We are tackling vote 004. But first, as Parliament, we greatly appreciate the work that the mighty UPDF is doing. I have just got commendations from Honorable Chair Norman Brick from Karamoja. He says, I have to say it, that Karamoja is pacified. We know Operation Suja is doing great, and ADF is getting decimated day in, day out. The other day we watched the president give his address, and the testimonies we got from those people that were rescued are really reassuring. The year 2024-2025, we know you have come with great plans for that. We are here to listen and support. The importance of this committee and Parliament, and take it from me because I'm speaking on behalf of this committee, we are here to strengthen the defense forces. We do not want it known that the defense forces, chieftaincies, services, and all agencies thereunder have failed to perform their constitutional obligations because of budgetary constraints from us. No, 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 no. We are here to make sure you perform. However, for those whom a lot is given, much more is expected from them. Without further ado, I'll give a chance to the honorable colleague who joined us to introduce himself.
Good morning, Chairman and members.
Over to you to make your presentation.
Honorable Chair, the honorable member needs to know that I have no powers in this committee. Honorable Chair and honorable members, the way we structured our presentation, unless the chairman advises otherwise, we started with the responses to the issues raised by the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs on the Ministry's budget framework paper for financial year 2024-2025. And that is the first paper as we arranged it. And then we have next the planned outputs for financial year 2024-2025. And the performance, budget performance for 2023-2024, and the budget performance for 2022-2023, and that's how we prepared ourselves. So, Honorable Chair and members, I don't to save on time. I don't want to repeat the mandate and the vision, but let me go to the second page on strategic objectives. In the first 5-year planning period of the third National Development Plan 3, the ministry is supposed to achieve the following strategic objectives: enhancing, improving the capability of the Defense Force, enhance defense infrastructure, enhance research and development, enhance production of wealth creation and self-sustainability, and improve administration and policy and planning. Number 4, the summary of the budget framework paper plans for financial year 2024-25. The Ministry will continue to derive its priorities and function activities in line with the NDP3 governance and security program objectives. And I don't have to read all of that, Honorable Chair. Number 3, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs will aim at achieving the following planned outputs, which is well elaborated, Honorable Chair. The Minister has been allocated 3.880,384,929 291 trillion for financial year 2024-2025. Honorable Chair and members, the detailed budget framework paper plans and the budget is attached as Annex A and D, respectively. We can refer to them. The issues, sir, which were raised include: number 1, provide the budget performance report of each vote and respective subvention, where applicable, for the first half of 2023-2024. Our response is, for financial year 2023-24, the Ministry had approved a budget of 4,077,096,215,478 shillings of the approved budget. A total of shillings 2,104,888,024,36362, which is 51.6%, was released by the end of the first half, of which 1.9,67286,594,821 was spent. This implies that 93.5% of the released budget was spent, Honorable Chair, and the unspent balances were due to the late release on capital development budget, ongoing verifications, which you are aware of, integration process, and the procurement process. Details of the budget performance are shown in Annex B. This table, sir, shows budget performance over the first half of financial year 2023-2024. Honorable Chair and members, you will see that on wage, the approved budget was 1.052 trillion. The releases beyond 526 billion. Expenditure is 447.177 billion. And unspent is 48.9 billion. Headquarters, 270. Spent is 122. Released 159. Unspent is 36. Land forces, 860. Releases 372. Expenditure 366.8. Unspent is 35.3 billion. Air Force, on page 5, 54 approved budget, 54 billion, 0.282. Release 27, expenditure 19.7, almost 0.8. The balance is 7.2 billion unspent. Artemis, approved budget is that, but you know about Artemis. Capital, we have received 1.64 trillion, releases 1.011 trillion, expenditure 1.002 trillion, and the unspent is 8.7
Honorable
billion.
Minister.
Yes, Your Excellency. Chair.
I know we requested for these responses. I'm happy you have put them in writing. I request you to go straight to budget framework paper and performance for the first half of the 2024 20, yes.
Might
This
you
will
wait?
save us time.
Yes, because tabulated, it is in tabulated form. If you can, if the members can get to that.
And because you submitted in advance, of course, members digested, they read it. Yeah.
So your chair, the members, you can see the performance of 2023-24
yes.
half year under Annex B. And we have so far, the approved budget was 4 trillion, 0.077. We have so far received 2.1 trillion and spent 1.96 trillion, 7. Annex B, you look for, I think this is the budget performance for the first half of this financial year. Are we together, honorable members? Bado. Something like this. That one.
Mr. Chairman, I'm seeking for your guidance. The UPDF and the minister is presenting very well. But you see, much as you got these documents earlier, I would seek for indulgence that the minister goes through these responses so that they go on record of Parliament. Because these are the areas where we're going to base our questions. But if we go for his next budget framework,
Honorable Sewungu, I'm happy you are seeking for guidance. This committee did the budget performance review. And these are the questions we requested. So response is really. So it's just repetition. That's why we need him to go for budget framework paper. Yeah, that's why we're here. The responses came out of the budget review. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
And now, as I talk, Honorable Chair,
And maybe
Honorable Member, this is
Seungu,
already
Honorable Seungu, record of Parliament is both voice and document submitted.
Chairman, I'm already quiet. I will ask questions out of them at the right time. Because
Yes.
from your
So again, sir, to be brief, the figures are here under Annex B for the budget performance for financial year 2023-24. And the next pages are the details.
Yes.
Honorable members.
Go on.
Yeah, the next page are the details. If you start with the wage, that when you see Modiva, that is the
Ministry of
Defense.
Yes.
And to UPDF. And then the total is given and the unspent out of what we received is here. And to cut the story short, it's about the reasons which I gave are the reasons for this money being unspent up to now. So the non-wage, the details are there. And this is how it is, the financial system tells us to report.
Okay. We can now move to individual vote. If there is more clarification. Yes. Yes. Particular. You see how you arrange whether now UPDF, all their, since the accounting officers are here. Yes. And any challenges you raise?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very, very important, where you seek for parliamentary support. No. That is yours, not his.
You know what's the D.
D. This is which is budget for financial year 2024-2025.
Yeah.
Wanted to know what was approved, what was you had projected, what was approved, and the challenges you meet and where we come in. Yes.
And members, allow me to take you, what is 19 now? Honorable members,
on page
19, first booklet, to answer your questions, Honorable Chair, if the members have reached there, this one, which page 19, we showed the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs unfunded and underfunded priorities. And certainly, this is where we need your support, honorable members. You can imagine, sir, the wage itself as a shortfall. 19, first booklet, table 7. We can even start with the table 6 on 18. which is a summary, because first booklet, honorable members. This table 6 shows the modified budget projections for financial year 2024-2025 and the medium term expenditure framework projections. And for 20 and below there, we go to the challenges. However, the allocation is not adequate to address the Ministry's budget requirement for financial year 2024, as shown below. This is exactly the brief, the condensed challenge figures. On wage, we are below by 997 in that financial year. Non-wage, we are below by 1 trillion. And the capital required is 4.4, available is 1.6. And sir, to help the members again, there are details on wage, which I don't know whether this paper is there, but I can avail it. But I can just inform the members that the why wage is 997, because we have salary enhancements for the engineer, the scientists in the UPDF. We have enhancements which the committee, last time, you ordered us to look at enhancing the private to captain. You remember, sir, and honorable members. So this is where, if we do that, this is the shortfall. So then we have the new LDPs. As you know, honorable members, the issues we have all over the place. The new LDPs will also require 27. Salary enhancement will require 858 billion.5. Salary for new LDPs will require 27.6. And these are physical, practical. You see, it's what we have been discussing here with you all the time. And then the professional pay. And now the way it is, you cannot say the other scientists are going to be paid in the government and the scientists in the UPDF will not be paid. And that one also requires 76 billion. Then the top up of salary of the integrated LDPs, there are those now which are on training. We will need 28. If we get the day they pass out, they will need this money. Then, of course, promotional effect. We also need 6.6. So that is 991, which I'm talking about here, sir. 97, sir. Sorry. So, sir, defense is defense. You had a very important area in this country, so, and you cannot bend things. Honorable members, this is what we are, these are the issues, the problems. Then when you go to table 7, you get some details. Look at the issue of pension that has always been the problem here in Parliament. We have the pension and the gratuity. The money available is less. Then the backlog, those who are disturbing you all the time, those ones you live with them, honorable members, that backlog is there. It has been coming all the time. And of course, the disability compensation. And other areas, including medical expenses, burial, defense forces shop, recruitment and training, classified, foodstuffs, fuel, clothing, and the maintenance of equipment. Your Honorable Chair, the details on page 20 are still going on of issues that otherwise would need serious attention, and the money available is not enough, including compensation of West Nile ex-combatants, management of veteran affairs, equal security. You know, the security of our pipeline, oil pipeline, is not catered for anywhere, and Tanzania is ready. They have budgeted.
Are you saying on the part of Uganda?
Yes.
You have not provided for security of the pipeline?
That's right, sir.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Why?
It's partly...
It is first and foremost Uganda's pipeline before it becomes East Africa.
That's right.
So how can you not provide for its security?
Site is still a thorn in our back.
Mr. Chair,
it is unfunded.
maybe before he comes in,
it's an unfunded priority.
I wanted to know, maybe Uganda being internal, it might be another security organ.
They would still know.
No. We have a committee which I put in place. But agency committee, there are members from energy, there are members from all the others, but headed by defense.
So securing the pipeline is a sole responsibility of defense.
Yes.
In my view.
Yes.
So what you don't have is what? Money?
Money.
On the recently launched NEC security, private security company, what is its role in relation to the security of the oil pipeline? And is there any possibility of the partners, I'm talking about Total and all that, also having interest in providing the same?
The last part of the question is very, very right.
First.
Okay, so, sir, so we go to page 21.
So how much money is needed for ECOP security?
Chair, it is 2.5 billion.
Billion, okay. So
this
we'll see how
the next financial year, sir. So you can see, I think Honorable Megade is.
You want to respond to him?
Is here because of page 21.
Page 21, Honorable Migade.
Number 3F.
And it's not only Honorable Migade, Honorable Minister. All of us. Which page is that?
Page 21, sir. F.
I need to go on. What about it?
Yeah. So, Honorable Chair, the 33 billion for parliamentary circle, the match in the way we took over land from Uganda Kingdom, the land is the way which we took over all over the place, including the strategic positions, which is private to the chair. All of this is here. So if you have 17 billion, sir, there is no way I can. So that's why these are very important issues. Very important issues. And we really look bad all the time. People are going to court. People are complaining, and it doesn't look good. The Constitution is very clear. We should, if you take over land, you can compulsorily acquire land, but you have to compensate. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now that the minister acknowledges responsibility,
yes, sir.
It's very important. Constitutional provisions, indeed, the land that, of course, for security reasons, you can forcefully take over, for example, Honorable Kosovo's land.
Yes.
But as you do that, he is entitled to fair, what does the law say?
Fair, adequate, and
prompt compensation.
Yes, sir.
And so if you don't, as a defense, would not want to see people coming to petition us here against, that would be petitioning against national security.
Thank you, sir. That's
so provision for it is vital. Guidance from me. Granted, first of all, introduce yourself.
You, and especially based on your comment, that we hope by the end of the meeting, the minister will present list of properties, land, as he has said, that the UPDF has acquired, occupied, and to date, they have failed to compensate and with justification. It is important that he prepares on that matter since he has invoked the Constitution.
Okay. But he has listing it, making it even public might jeopardize national security. Yeah. Yes. But he can actually update the committee in writing. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. As I take your concern, Honorable Kanya, you're absolutely right, but we can ask the minister to put it in writing to the committee.
Tribal, because UPDF, or Government of Uganda Armed Force, 1972, acquired properties in Mubende by force.
In 1972?
1972 during Amin. This government...
That's not UPDF.
No, not UPDF. I mean the...
Government of Uganda.
Government of Uganda.
Okay.
Occupied. This government of Mr. Museveni, under that minister, or that ministry, decided to compensate. But the same family...
The government of President Museveni can't be under this minister. It is this minister...
Under, yes.
Okay. The government of Mr. Museveni,
must be
where the current minister presides, decided to compensate. Now, here, decided to compensate,
Yes.
the land was so big. One portion of the land was occupied by somebody from the west. One portion of the land was occupied by Muganda.
You mean west of Budama, west
No,
of what?
Ankole.
Procedure, Chair.
Why the matter is now becoming
Procedure.
tribal share before you raise procedure?
Procedure. So, are we, honorable member, knowing that this committee, this is a formal committee of parliament that should not bring issues based on speculation without any proper evidence
and tribalizing
issues on a national committee that is handling issues of national security, and it brings issues on information which we don't know how we got it, through radio Katwe, or how did he get the information? Are we proceeding well, therefore, Chair?
Okay. A member of this committee, as a member of parliament, he has a right to attend and submit. Honorable Kanya, if you have sufficient information to that effect, you have already made your case. I would want to see what the minister's response is. But, excuse me, Honorable, it would be better that you, if you have the documentation, you submit to them. Otherwise, that's not information that the committee is privy to. Secondly, it's slightly outside the budget framework paper, for which minister to continue, make his presentation, and then we'll come in.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
For Honorable Mugade, remember it's you who started it, so you'll have to conclude it.
22, you can see
I'm seeking clarification, and if the minister...
Honorable Seungu, you seek clarification through chair.
Mr. Chair, but he's taking over your powers.
Forget, I am not seeing anyone, it's you.
Before page 22, I am seeking for some clarification from the minister, if allowed. And it is useful, Mr. Chairman.
The Chair.
Honorable Seungu, while you have a right to attend, you already made your case, can the minister complete? You'll have a chance to make your response. Thank you.
And members, we have reached the capital development, which is on page 21, then 22. And you can see some of all of these things we are talking about, sir. Most of them have been discussed by this committee. We wanted to reduce on utilities. You remember, honorable members, the cost, the expenditure on utilities. You told us to make efforts to reduce on them. The solar power project was one of the areas where we should produce power, give it to the grid, then we balance off with it is compensated on what we use in our barracks. The construction of the headquarters, the Uganda cargo, we have discussed, honorable members and the chair, in cabinet, and the cabinet has found it right that I inform you that we need strategic airlift as a landlocked country. On transport equipment, you also told us to think about having our own garages so that we don't spend all the money in those outside the garages. And then you also talked about we don't have this Nakasongola Air Force Wing would also be an alternative if Entebbe had a problem. We are since we keep secrets here, all the members should know that this is a very God is with us all the time, but if He is not, it would cause us a lot of disaster if we never had any problem. The slight problem when Rwanda air slided,
I have a motion, Chair.
you know what happened. We had to divert people to Nairobi. So we want to get Nakasongola as defense, but also as a strategic alternative. So, Honorable Chair and members, I want to present that these are the most pressing issues which are unfunded, and we request your Chair and members to see how we go around this.
We'll briefly, thank you, Honorable Minister. We'll brief from Uganda Air Cargo, briefly. We'll hear from NEC, and as far as production this is concerned, briefly. We'll hear from, I do not see it as independent, Operation Shuja, but what challenges, for example, Uganda Air Cargo, NEC, especially in areas, what you have listed. I'm reading, because we read these, we read the document.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we did. So briefly, then we came.
And I have provided a write-up with the challenges. I believe the committee is well informed about what UACC requires.
Thank you.
And as presented by the minister on page 22, that is what we require.
Thank you.
And the money is not yet available.
For you to rescue your assets.
To implement our business strategy and investment plan. But at the same time also to implement cabinet directive on revamping and repositioning Uganda Air Cargo. I submit, Honorable
Thank
Chair.
you. Thank you. Nick?
Honorable Minister, you visited us and we presented to you our problems, one of which is the remuneration of the scientists who are in Vero Industries.
For R&D?
Yes. And then R&D, capitalization of R&D, which is in place. We require some funding. And then the headquarters of NEC, there's some deficit of the salary payment, which we also presented. So those are the issues that we have.
Thank you.
We require.
Can we hear from the veterans?
Honorable Chair, through the Honorable Ministers, the veterans clusters already presented in the budget was given an establishment budget of about 2.5 billion, which was essentially to handle issues of salaries and equipment. And since then, that budget has not changed, yet the veterans have so many challenges, including non-payment of pension, in the backlog.
Don't we have a chieftains of pensions?
Yes.
We do?
Oh, yes, yes.
So that is handled under?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. The other issue is that veterans, cutters of support of government, are now involved in a food and feed
That's
program.
what we want to hear about.
Yes, but as a consequence of that intervention, there is a lot of interest, expression of interest for them to participate. But the funding, again, is inadequate. And initially, the money was meant to be funded through the Ministry of Agriculture, but that money has never been forthcoming. What has happened is that the ministry, through internal arrangement, has applied some funds, causing further stress to the existing budget. And so we need additional funding to enable more veterans to participate in this program.
You will also submit in writing that particular. Thank you, General Kayanja.
Chair, sir, Operation Shuja is going on well. In Eastern DRC, we have good collaboration with the DRC forces, good cooperation, and we also have very good support from the population in Eastern DRC. So far, we have gone on very well in all the three sectors. You heard the President said recently in his brief to the nation, end of year brief. The population has gone back in Eastern DRC to their homes. Churches have opened, health centers have opened. Farming is going on very well. Like you are saying, I cannot disclose details of how many have been put out of action, the commanders and their subordinates, but we are going on very well. These few infiltrations, you have seen in the country, in Western Uganda, are a result of the pressure we are putting on them inside the Eastern DRC, because we have gone now as far as Mambasa territory. If you know the map of Eastern DRC, we are very far from the Ugandan border. We are, these small groups coming trying to distract us from concentrating on the high value targets in Eastern DRC.
Honorable Sechikubo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Please. Mr. Chairman, Sechikubo Theod is my name, a member of this committee. Mr. Chairman, I've been here for a while. But the reason I'm rising on procedure is the Commander Land Forces is trying to smuggle some item about Shuja to this committee. Yet, Mr. Chairman and members, you are aware, as Parliament, we've been demanding from the Minister of Defense to come to Parliament and, not a report, and seek the authorization of Parliament to be in Congo. After that, it has been required of him to make reports, situational reports to Parliament on this Operation Suja. And lastly, Mr. Chairman, whereas the budget is 62 billion, Mr. Chairman, we have seen the increasing spate of killings within the country, reaching as far as Kamwenge.
So the procedure point?
The procedure point I'm raising, Mr. Chairman, is it procedure right for government to try to smuggle an item out of a detailed report wanted as Parliament onto this committee, Mr. Chairman? Number two, Mr. Chairman, if you may permit, what is happening to the UPDF? This docket we are overseeing. The other Tuesday, we saw an attempted murder of Pastor Bujingo, but less is talked about the UPDF officer who was killed, and nobody is mentioning about the corporal from Rebitakuri, Richard. What was he doing with a pastor? And yet this is a professional soldier. Under what circumstances is UPDF being deployed to guard persons? Have we privatized the UPDF, Mr. Chairman? So those I wanted, before he can delve into the details, to first brief Parliament what exactly happened. Whereas everybody is running and jumping with Pastor Bujingo, nobody is talking about this gallant son who died under those mysterious circumstances. So what is happening?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, first, ruling. On more than 2 occasions, government has briefed Parliament on the security situation in Congo and on Suja operation. So General Kayanja is properly here as commander of land forces, and he's been requested to brief us briefly on Suja.
Chair, as far as I remember, there has never been such sanctioning by Parliament coming to Parliament. It is not a question of no or yes, but can the minister go on record? Why are you violating the constitutional provisions when it comes to deployment of the UPDF?
After that, then you seize the microphone and I make a ruling.
No. Most of.
Thank you. Parliament has been briefed before, not once, not twice. We called this meeting because we are discussing the budget framework paper. 2024-2025. Operation Suja is reflected. The commander of land forces and commanding Operation Suja is properly here. He is briefing us exactly, he's briefing Parliament what he's doing and what he requires the money for. He's not in breach of the Constitution, neither is he in breach of any of rules of procedure of Parliament. With regard to the death of, did you say Koporo, Muhumuza, and the guarding of Pastor Bujingo, a Ugandan, the minister will have to respond to that. No problem. So, I will request, excuse me, you have no microphone yet. You asked, I guided, so let's move forward, Honorable Sechikubo.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, now what's the problem?
But they are matters of fact, and they are matters of the Constitution.
So do you want to get the
which cannot be swept under the carpet? Probably the issue would be, when are you the Honorable Minister of Defense, whether retrospectively or otherwise, coming to legitimize your stay in Congo through the authorization of Parliament?
Okay,
briefing us here partly is not the authorization of Parliament, as the Constitution is stating, and it is demanding, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, can we have General Kayanja conclude?
Once a member raises a procedural question,
I thought I have
and the
made a
minister
ruling.
is here over the constitutionality of our presence in Congo, and we needed a response, not to tell the presenter to present that he is continuing well.
I have
raised on
I
the
have
procedural
said, Honorable
question.
Sechikubo, that Parliament has been briefed before, not once.
But that is not permission. There is no resolution of Parliament before you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm really saddened. There is no authorization, there is no resolution.
No.
There is no resolution of Parliament.
Can we have the minister respond? You'll come in later.
Honorable Chair.
And bring that microphone, please. Thank you.
Fortunately, I'm the same minister who presented to Parliament, and that time when you inform Parliament, and that was the question. The question was informing Parliament about our presence in DRC, which I did, or which we did very well. And we presented the status, the SOFA, the status of forces agreement, and the Parliament accepted it.
Thank you.
So I think we are really constitutional, and I think UPDF and the Ministry of Defense would be the last group to behave unconstitutionally.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Chairman, some guidance. Chairman, clarification, Chair.
General Kayanja, conclude. Okay, OO wants to add on.
Add on what my senior brother stated. It should be on the record. Quoting a constitution like a general document, which we can say the Bible says, and you don't quote the particular verse in breach, may make and portray a picture to the whole world that the presence of or deployment of UPDF outside in DRC Congo using a SOFA was in violation of the Constitution. The misconception could be not understanding Section 39, 1A, and the difference between 1A and 2B. The deployment for peace enforcement and peacekeeping. Which one do you demand approval of Parliament? Honorable Sechkubo, who went to law school not long ago, should be able to dissect and feed the whole nation with the truth that there is a difference between the deployment which requires approval of Parliament and where the President, through bilateral, like a SOFA was laid before Parliament. And I think, Honorable Sechkubo, we've been on this for a long time. I think the Honorable Minister, what he has given, and that additional clarification should comfort Honorable Sechkubo that UPDF is not in any breach in what we are doing.
Settled.
Chair, clarification.
Excuse me, I have not given anyone a chance. A question was asked and a response was given. Can you continue and conclude?
And I was saying, I was raising under Article 210, where Parliament is commanded by this Constitution to regulate the Uganda People's Forces, People's Defense Forces, and Parliament shall make laws regulating the Uganda People's Defense Forces, in particular providing for, and this is D, the deployment of troops outside Uganda. And under whatever guise the Honorable Minister is trying to smuggle this, what we've seen is there has been cross-border combat. We have lost even our equipment. We have lost our lives. So for the minister to say that I was quoting,
so no, exactly what?
This is what I'm saying, that it is a combat taking place across the border, and rightly, without the semantics, Parliament ought to have been requested to authorize this deployment.
And which was done. Which was done.
And if, Mr. Chairman, briefing is one thing, but this should have gone under a parliamentary resolution. Parliament provides for the resolution, and that's how Parliament takes a decision.
Okay. You have a point made. No, you have made your point.
Certainly.
Return the microphone. Microphone. Can I have my microphone? Thank you. Nabos, can we have your microphone? We'll have the minister respond and continue.
Yes. I must thank Honorable Sechkubo for citing that provision. That's what they call an enabling provision. That is the basis upon which Parliament, Article 210, enacted the UPDF Act to regulate the deployment. And under that Section 39 is exactly what is being done. Thank you very much for citing the enabling law, but the implementing law is the UPDF Act.
Thank you. We are here for the budget framework papers, and we are not going to be... Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. I think I should conclude because
yes,
it's taking
thank you.
long here.
Thank you.
I think I was saying that the UPDF has succeeded in its operational objectives in Congo. And I was saying that these other small groups that have been trying to infiltrate the country have all been defeated. And I end by saying that we are doing our work the way we are being guided by the Commander-in-Chief. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Land Forces.
Chair, this adds up to the figures which I've presented in page 22. Come again? Of course, we'll do that. We'll do that, certainly, at a later stage. As you know, yes, we will have to answer, Mr. Chairman. Yes. So, Mr. Chairman, we present this to you, to the committee, and we seek your support. We seek for your support, Mr. Chairman.
Before that, anybody who wants to maybe supplement the minister, or I thought this meeting has one chair. Absolutely. So I'm not going to be ordered what to do. Honorable Wakoli.
It's okay. I am not challenging chair when the minister is here. We presume is the one heading this delegation.
That's done. Okay, honorable colleagues, we have heard from the minister representing vote 004 and other agencies and what they are doing and the challenges. Fortunately, so honorable colleagues, you are abreast with the information. However, before I even standing, actually two, I'd wish you to comment and then we continue. One is from the parliamentary circle. I want your comment on that. Parliamentary circle land. I have communication to the minister from the speaker. I was given a copy. And the Honorable Megade is here. Honorable Megade, do you want to add on? Please.
We have before us, I want to declare that I come in peace. Mr. Chair, like UPDF has Wazalendo, Uganda Parliamentary Circle also has the Parliament, Parliament also has the Uganda Parliamentary Circle. And we don't have any other source of money. The source of money we have are members' savings. And these members include, fortunately, they include the ministers. Because I know the list, they include, and they are good members. And we used the parliamentary circle money to acquire land like we have always done. And we have failed to provide plots to members of the 11th Parliament. At the same time, we don't have money to acquire other piece of land. Because the Ministry of Defense has failed to compensate us. And so why I'm here is the Ministry of Defense must ensure national security. And we are foot soldiers as MPs. And this land in Namwabula, Boyala, measuring 258 acres. Government value have valued it at 33.3 billion. This is why today I'm here, and we need that money. So and what I've seen, what has been presented, as the chair of parliamentary circle, I cannot go away assured that what is here, the presentation includes the figure for the parliamentary circle. So I want assurance from the ministers, so that I go, and so that you members, that in case we are in shortfall, we have logistical problems, the cause is the Ministry of Defense, the UPDF, is the ministers, the PS, that the problem. So that's why I'm here, Mr. Chair, nothing more than that.
And Mr. Chair, if we could utilize the land, well and good, but we cannot access our land. They already deployed.
Information.
Information.
Yeah, shareholders. And if you hold it there, then that means it's affecting the economy of the country. And when you look at page 51, Honorable Minister, of your presentation, probably, Mr. Chair, I would implore you that the Minister provides the details of the land acquisition. We need to know who are the beneficiaries and how much is allocated to them. Thank you.
Okay.
Inform the members who have had many, let me call them many meetings between the circle leaders and Minister of Defense and the Minister of Finance. And the Minister of Finance has written to us to accept that, yes, this money should be paid. But since the financial ensuing didn't have money, that budget, Finance advised that we should budget for it in the budget that we are discussing now.
This budget?
This budget, yes, we are discussing.
Let him conclude and then we come in. Go on.
In writing, sir. So, and this is why I presented, or we presented this shortfall, because as you see, the money available is only 17 billion. Even if we wanted, on the page 21, even if, page 21, F,
21?
F, even if we wanted to pay only the circle land, for the circle land, still, this money is not enough. And this is why I'm here, sir, Honorable Chair and members. Two heads are better than one. The committee is many heads to see how we can get this money.
How much had you budgeted? Yes, I'm going to allow. How much had you budgeted for this, for it?
Total amount is 33 billion.
Yes.
33.2.
And we want to assume this is not the only land acquired.
That's what I'm, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chair, it is one of the one, all the lands and
then we come in.
All issues are really pressing.
Yes.
Or equally pressing. And these are under the 157.3 billion, which I present. And the list which is also classified, we certainly go to the chair.
Okay. Honorable Mugade.
Any other claimant today?
You are here. That's a good one.
I'm here. So, the minister is saying, you see this figure, I know there are other claimants, but today I'm here for Uganda Parliamentary Circle, and I'm here for the minister and the other members. And what I would be happy with, if it can be made in writing to this committee, that commitment in writing, that this money is actually in this budget. Even if then the committee, I'm sure, then the committee will know how to provide for it, if it is indeed budgeted for.
Yes. As a deficit, as an unfunded priority.
But Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable, okay.
Thank you very much, sir. I thank all of us, and the minister should be very honest to us, because the minister is here to be helped by this committee.
Yes.
Actually, this is where you run to. And the committee will give a report which will tender in Parliament, and I think there will be no objection. Be sincere and tell us that the money is not provided for, and why do you put it under unfunded priorities? What wrong would it do if it was put as one of the priorities?
Which one do you want to be under unfunded?
Chair, the Minister of Finance issues a budget called circular and gives a ceiling. For the Minister of Defense to present here that the issue of parliamentary circle land is unfunded. It is the Minister of Finance that decides items that are priority to them. That means that message to us is that paying parliamentary circle is not a priority. The Prime Minister, Chair, you sit in some committee with the President. The Prime Minister has come to the floor of Parliament and directed all ministers that no minister should come to parliamentary committee and claim unfunded because they sit in cabinet with the President, with the Minister of Finance. And therefore, Chair, is it procedure correct for the Minister of Defense, knowing very well that this is a very serious matter, for him to come and present it here, that MPs should provide money that is unfunded? Is proceeding well?
The permanent secretary, before I make a ruling.
Chair and members, really it's not that we didn't think of providing funding for the circle, but it's because, like he said, there is the ceiling. And the ceiling, really, you can see that when you look at the shortfalls that we have, some of them are really ridiculous. You are looking at food, you are looking at fuel. These are not, you are looking at uniforms. All these have huge shortfalls. Now, how do we now, ignore this and then, really, you need to, honestly.
The permanent secretary, we are not asking you to ignore, we're asking you to adjust. Yes.
We want, what I wanted to say is that we've put this case to PSST. And the response was, of course, that we look for the money, but this is the reason why we are here. We are here to beg you to look for extra funding so that, yeah, because I don't have it, therefore, Parliament has...
Okay.
Yeah, Parliament can get this money for us.
Okay.
Why are we here, Mr. Chairman?
That's true.
Thank you.
No, our concern is that you did not priority to be picked on the picking order. But the minister wants to conclude, then yes.
Chair, something a little on that. Indicating available 17.66 billion. Then out of the 17 billion available funding, what is in there for the circle, for example? Yes, because we would also need to see the details of this. And Chair, I wanted to submit.
Yes, submit.
That they provide details in writing for the 17 billion under land acquisition, so that we know what is catered for under the 17 available.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Sechko
was first cited when he appointed one of the best legal brains to the Ministry of Defense. But I'm surprised, Mr. Chairman, that part of the principles of land acquisition, the law provides for immediate and adequate compensation prior to the acquisition or takeover. And he's there. And he has been with the Ministry of Defense. The law is clear. There should be prior and commensurate compensation prior to the acquisition. If members of Parliament are crying this, how about other Ugandans out there? How about the many Ugandans whose land is acquired and you have the ministry, you have the UPDF that is supposed to be law-abiding, but trampling the law on land acquisition or property acquisition? Number two, Mr. Chairman, let us put it clearly. We are talking about 250 acres piece of land in the middle of the city. UPDF has been letting go its properties. Who are the faces behind this acquisition? Yes, we need to put a flashlight on the same. This land has been there. It is only when the parliamentary circle moved in that the UPDF showed interest. Is it of strategic nature? Are there people working behind the back of UPDF to acquire this property?
Do you doubt that it's UPDF that occupies it?
Because it is strange. From the word go, we are seeing UPDF taking interest.
I think what we need is compensation for that
Mr.
land.
Chairman,
Yeah.
but even compensation, who are the faces behind this?
UPDF.
You are the committee, you are responsible for the defense of this country. Can the minister come clean?
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Sewungu, and then we conclude this.
Mr. Chairman, I pray that through you, the minister tables the letter. I would request you as a committee, you have an in-house on this matter as you process the budget. Because I would not like to see my face being seen promoting my personal interests at the cost of UPDF, which came in to pass their budget and look at their budget. So as a committee, sit
You are
and
very
look at
sensible
this.
today.
I've always been, that's an attack on me, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
That's an attack on me, but Mr. Chairman, I've never been senseless. But I would pray that...
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, I've known Honorable Sewungu at all. He's a teacher.
He's
of
also a
good standing
minister.
in Parliament.
Honorable Sewungu is also a minister.
But the insinuation that today he's sensible today.
Take it lightly.
Mr. Chairman, and we respect that position so much. So whatever you say is up to your discretion. However, I'm saying
you are very.
My prayers are that since the ministers, if you, with your intelligence, you'd open us the floor, we raise our issues, because that matter cannot be conclusively be handled here, and the face of us as a committee will not be organizing well in the public. So, if you allow me, I can raise my issues.
Just a moment. Just to be on that, because so that we dispose.
Yeah, but the minister should give you that letter, unless you have a copy of it from finance. Then later on, you will sit as a committee to look into that matter as you go for the budget appropriation for this defense.
Thank you, Honorable Sewungu.
Was copied to, this letter was copied to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. So it is, you are private, I know you can access it whenever you want.
Okay. Anything else?
We are pleading, we are together. In fact, for us, as we...
You need to respond to the question set by Honorable Sechikubo. Then we move forward.
About our...
yes.
If the matter is being investigated, Honorable Chair, certainly we cannot...
There is more. You can...
no, that is... Let the investigation...
Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Yeah.
He died. That's what happened. Our brother died, and the investigations are going on. Maybe, you know, I think they have the same language. Let me...
The Honorable Chair.
Okay,
Honorable Chair, can you guard
the death of any Ugandan, including UPDF uniformed personnel, is a Ugandan.
Yes.
When the person is killed, murdered, it's a responsibility of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So we are actually as aggrieved as Honorable Sechikubo. As a ministry, we've lost the personnel, and we are waiting on the investigation by the Internal Affairs, the police, to tell us that there will be justice for the person who has been killed. Honorable Sechikubo knows this very well. We cannot investigate our own case. But if we are called upon with our investigation agencies who are working jointly, we want to get to the root cause. The duty of the Uganda police is to handle internal affairs matters. I think this one is well known.
Honorable Chair, the police has offered 20 million for anybody who offers information. And now that it seems Honorable Sechikubo has more information, I think you should benefit from this.
Thank you. Now that settles it. Honorable colleagues. Order, 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 order. Okay, colleagues.
I want to thank the General Operation Shuja, and he goes the same route, Honorable Minister, through you to the General. I think the major problem we should solve in UPDF is using our soldiers to guard civilians. It's not proper. I was a teacher in military police. I know military police as an army that disciplines the other infantry. Now here we are having civilians being guarded by UPDF, and they're not paying you anything. Even in your NTR, it is not reflected. Of recent, we saw a certain gentleman called the Mwenda in Shuja, dressed in a combat. You know what it takes to wear that uniform. General Muhanga, you know what it takes to wear those pips. It's not a joking subject. The process you went through is not mine. It is yours. It is rigorous, and the tiresome are not easy. But if a private goes into a chopper, dresses like you, a civilian, it's not proper. Where we are now, Mr. Chairman, we are having civilians being guarded by military police. Even the president, I think, is not guarded by military police. I correct that. SFC is for the president. So these are things you should look at. It's abuse of office, and it's putting you as soldiers. Kindly discourage that. The three ministers we have here, Mr. Chairman, are entitled to the UPDF security. The moment they leave these ministries, they will go back and get police. But here I've seen the Minister of Justice for Constitutional Affairs is having more than 10 soldiers, a private. But the police is supposed to provide that kind of security. Then, when I got my other issues, you talked about land. You have land for hiring. Then you want land to buy. Could you explain that, Honorable Minister? Secondly, I am very interested in knowing how much money you are going to increase civilians, the privates in the army. You talked about science officers. The senior officers who are scientists were paid very well. But people who serve more than anybody, who are at the gate waiting to drive you off, are the privates, the corporals. Have you looked at their enhancement? Because these people do a lot of work, but you are not giving them any enhancement. And the Honorable Minister, that is not proper. So I would pray, Mr. Chairman, with this committee, kindly look for money to increase privates. Otherwise, we are going to get challenges. You saw what happened to one of our ministers. That was unequaled before. It was painful. It can occur to any of you, because you know what is meant by the barrel of the gun. Then, Honorable Chair, there are issues here. They talk about presidential directives. Please, Honorable Minister, sometimes be careful with the presidential directives. Some of them are making you mess up UPDF. I will not give details, but you know them. So don't take, because once you make mistakes, the president will ask you, I directed you, did you advise me on what I directed you to do? If Parliament is questioning you on messes you have made. Mr. Chairman, because I will not come back, there is something I want to ask you.
You have any specific directive you are referring
to? On page
to?
19, lastly, Mr. Chairman, because other members are coming in.
The
on
minister,
page 19. Yes, sir.
I'm seeking clarification because I've not understood exactly what the honorable member.
Are you which specific?
Are you saying I disobey directives?
Can I
just be very clear on this?
I know.
And which?
I know it's touchy. I know it's touchy, but kindly receive the directives, and at the end of that day we shall look at them. Because according to your presentation here, you seem to say that any directive you take it as it is, but we don't agree with that. And I've said kindly measure them and you talk to the big man. This is what I'm saying. It's very simple, Honourable Minister. And you know why I'm saying this. But I want to go to the last issue I want to raise.
Please make your last point.
The last issue is on page 19. How do you tell us that you have no clothing as an unfunded priority? How are your soldiers going to work without clothing? And lastly, Mr. Chairman, I have asked this question several times. I want to know the status of Mbuya Army School land. Who owns that land? Is it under UPDF or you submitted to somebody else? Because that land, that school was for the army. It was called Mbuya Army School and was used by children of soldiers. I think I'm correct on our Vice. So up to now, that land was closed, the school was closed, but we don't know the owner of that land. But that was your property. You could guide us on that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Seungu. You only have two. You already raised it. You may not have to go back to that.
Chair, the two issues I have,
please,
are very critical. I have seen the budget of the ministry, not only the Ministry of Defense, Internal Affairs, prisons. They have issues of wage and salary enhancement. The voice among the men and women in uniform, military men, is that what we need to do, what other countries do like Egypt. These men and women are asking government for one thing, that the government should have a policy position that the children of military officers should have access to education, to university, to the school of their choice. To the school of their choice, not UPE, not USE. Mr. Chairman, secondly, that the family of men and women in uniform should have free, quality, accessible health service. The men and women in uniform are saying, once this is done, they defend internally the police, then the UPDF, they will do their defense outside, knowing that, one, their children can access quality education to the school of their choice. Whether it means Budo, they will access. Well,
you do not see it being planned or budgeted for?
It is not in the plan. I raised it last financial year to the minister. It is not in the plan. Every year they come with salary enhancement. An officer can die during operation, but if he knows that his son or daughter will access free quality education to university, he knows that his wife and his children, while he's in Congo, will have access to free quality health service of their choice. They defend this country. That's one issue that I request the minister to take up. Second, Chair, the issue of land. Way back in the 1970s, the government of Idi Amin took over land in Buekula, Block 229. And this land, 20 years ago, the Minister of Defense, realizing the error that was committed, decided, after 22 years in Buekula, decided to discuss with the family and compensate. The same land had two families. One family was compensated full, including rental value and the amount of money. But one family in the name of Kato, to this date has worked to the Ministry of Defense.
They jointly owned the land?
No, the land was for one family. The Musei died, and the land was divided. One group was compensated rental value and even the value of the land. But one family called Kato, to this date, the PS is here, the minister, including the Speaker of Parliament, has written a letter to the minister on this matter. The Parliament...
What's the other name for Kato, for record purposes?
Emmanuel,
so the minister knows.
So I want to find out from you, Honorable Minister,
okay,
why are you segregating this family of Kato? What crime have they committed? Mr. Chairperson, I have the entire document here, including directive, communication from Attorney General, communication from Chief Government Valuer.
So are you laying?
Yes, I'm going to lay. The Parliament of Uganda has appropriated money for this item. It's not that the money is not there, but the PS and the ministers are deliberately refusing to compensate this family. We would like to know, for what reason are you committing injustice?
Okay. Oh, Tororo. Thank you. Okay, honorable colleague, Honorable Kahonda, and then we are about to conclude.
Mr. Chairman, I have few specific questions.
Yes, Honorable Kahonda.
One, in all this, when you are budgeting for the Defense Forces shop, when you are asking for money to facilitate the veterans, Mr. Chairman, there is an outstanding issue that we needed to address of the UPDF amendment bill. And I remember when we were...
The 205.
Yes.
The UPDF Act.
Yes. And there is an amendment bill that is intended to cure all this. Honorable Minister, I remember when the ministry appeared before the same committee, you committed, and you actually gave us even the timelines about this. Where is the amendment? Where is the law to address all these concerns of veterans, to address the welfare of soldiers?
Thank you.
Because it has been overdue. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, I have seen in their budget the Minister of Defense budgeting for furniture, and the Honorable Ministers, you are aware that there is a presidential directive where he directed that all the MDAs should procure their furniture with Uganda Prison Services. How far have you gone with the implementation of that directive? Shall we be right to switch money meant for furniture to prison services so that the prison services can provide the furniture that you intend to procure?
You are asking whether they are planning to import furniture when there exists a presidential directive that they should procure from a sister organization.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then, Mr. Chairman, on NTR, when we are reviewing their budget performance, they provided a row of the money that they collected from private guarding. We are aware that the UPDF is guarding most of the manufacturing companies, especially the Chinese. I have seen them. You admitted, and you said you are correcting the NTR. But this time around, I can see it has been omitted. Is it deliberate, or it was just an oversight by the concerned people that they did not include it? Mr. Chairman, on solar project,
the Nakasongora,
and actually the Kororo, we are aware that some funds were provided for the project at Kororo, and we were told, I don't know whether it had been commissioned or not, that that one got completed. But it has, as if it has never been commissioned. If it has ever been commissioned, of what capacity are we contributing to the national grid? And this one of Nakasongora that you are planning, it should, Mr. Chairman, it's not just a matter of indicating that we need 10 billion has been provided and we required 94. We need to know the details. This solar, it will be of what capacity?
Okay.
And of this, what will you use as Minister of Defense, and what will you
sell to the national grid?
Mr. Chairman, lastly is of veterans, especially on maize project. We are told that the Minister of Defense, you dictate that the veterans must supply NEC. And you even go ahead and dictate the price, compared even to the market price outside there. Are you really serving the intentions of the veterans, or you are serving your own interests? Why do you go ahead and dictate the prices? Thank you.
Oh, good. Honorable Keyo. Oh, no.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I have only two issues.
One
is to add information on the salary enhancements for the officers. Chair, you remember last time when the ministry visited, we informed them that there was a story that was run on one of the televisions where some officers were complaining that up to now they've not implemented the enhancements for the science, the lower officers. So we don't know how far the ministry has gone about that. Then two, we've seen there is a budget for recruitment This time round, remember, on the floor of Parliament, our colleagues were complaining of the unfairness in recruitment. So we're also bringing them on board that this time round, in case they are to conduct it, let them be fair. Not to get people from, because to get people from maybe Teso to bring them to Iganga. So because I was there when they were conducting the last recruitment, and all the people that were yes. Chair, I was there and I'm saying, okay, from Tororo. Chair, let me be protected. Guardian is distracting me. So, and also, last time when the president was addressing us in the caucus, when they attacked one of the camps that we visited in Somalia, the issue that the president was putting forward was that in deployment for the officers in these international peacekeeping, whatever way they're taking them, they've decided to deploy their relatives, their what. So maybe they should also look at that in deploying people who are qualified, not to deploy relatives and so ever. Those were my concerns.
Thank you, Honorable Sauda. Honorable Keyo.
Mine is first of all to thank the ministry because actually I've been going through other policy statements of other MDS. I'm seeing this one speaks for itself. The money they have asked for, the money they have expended,
and the responses
yes, unspent balances. I think even the blind can see and the deaf can hear on this. But my worry is the unspent balances. They seem to be too much, and are we not going to be caught up at the end of the financial year to eventually pass it over back to consolidated fund? Because there are a lot of unspent balances. Then on ATMIS.
On ATMIS?
I'm seeing you expected some money, and then eventually there's 0,000. Is it winding out? And are those people who have already served going to be paid if there's 0,000 balances for them?
Honorable Minister, the question on ATMIS, we will need your response. Thank you.
Much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I would like to thank the team from Ministry of Defense for this well-elaborate budget framework paper and responses to our issues. My just one concern that I wanted them to highlight, Honorable Chair, just one concern I wanted them to highlight. It relates to the recent directive that the Commander-in-Chief gave on the recruitment of LDUs to handle an emergency in Western Uganda. How are you, because it has come in the middle of a financial year, and yet you must, because it is an emergency. I'm just wondering, how are you grappling with this? Would you necessitate a supplementary in such a situation because it falls within that, or you have another alternative? How are you, where are the resources because I know recruitment is going on, so where are you getting the resources from? Thank you.
Chair. Mr. Chair, thank you. Mr. Chair.
Honorable Norman.
The effort by the Ministry of Defense through the UPDF in making attempt to pacify Karamoja. It is true, and you have known last year what went through. The level of death, the level of theft has considerably reduced. Has considerably reduced in Karamoja. Up to almost 60% to 70%. That is not a very easy achievement. So we must appreciate the ministry. And we must thank you that the money we have given you, you have put it to use. I saw with my naked eyes that the money was working. And one thing that must not be accepted in all terms is that the Turkana must not be demitted back to Uganda. Because when UPDF flashed them out, half of the gun causing trouble in Karamoja went back to Kenya. Half of the gun causing trouble in Karamoja are brought by the Turkana. The Turkana are freely armed people. Whenever you talk about the Turkana, you know that they are officially armed, and the government knows. So there is no single way that they can be admitted. Bringing them back, we shall go to square zero. So I want to thank the UPDF for the effort they have put in President Karamoja. But also, Mr. Chair, there's an impending visit by this committee to Karamoja. It was held a bit because the Minister of Defense was still deploying new troops, new command. They requested that we order a bit, they take charge. Now that they have taken charge of the region, and there's some success, we need to definitely visit.
That is now ours to. That's internal. Thank you.
Chair, I have two issues to raise. One, the issue of escorts. Mr. Chair, most of us who survive here or come from Karamoja survive on UPDF escorts. We are civilians, so I wanted to be very sincere about that. That we are civilians. We are living at the mercy of UPDF. All in our homes, we are being protected. We are being protected by UPDF. All the leaders in Karamoja, even if you go now in my home, you think it is a barrack. Because these guys also want to work on us as leaders. So we also survive on UPDF. So when we talk, we should talk with the caution that one day, if it has to talk here, I might need the support of UPDF. Exactly. So let's be very careful.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, the second one is that the issue of land. The issue of land. I thought this parliament should stand very firm.
Yes.
And ensure we give Minister of Defense money for buying or paying for land. Because the UPD must be well prepared in terms of land. If we can still look for land now, which means tomorrow they will still need land, there will be more problems. So I think this is the time, Chair, that this committee must stand firm, whether it means of finance. Let's have money, we pay people their land. And they should also acquire what is enough for them. I think, Chair, pensions and gratuity, we really have challenges on pensions for the army. I have really two people who are going to die. Honorable Minister and the PS, I have two people, pensioners, who might die if we don't pay them this year. And now that I brought to light.
Are they going to die because they are not paid?
Because they are not paid.
Or even if they are paid, they will die anyway?
No. But if they are paid, they will survive. They need treatment, they are sick. Yes? They need treatment, they are sick. We have been supporting them a bit to make them survive. There's medicine that they should take daily, they need to buy. I can assure you they are at the brink of death. Okay. Not that God has heard what I'm saying.
Pensions and gratuity.
In case they die, it's not very dangerous. Let's rescue them. Finally, air cargo. It has the biggest unfunded priority. It has the biggest unfunded. I've looked at the unfunded priority. Air cargo has the biggest unfunded priority. 386 billion. And yet we saw the challenge and the critical role they play in a landlocked country. Mr. Chair, I thought this one also need to put very, very strongly. Huh? Yeah. And then the troops, yes, in Karamoja, they are working so hard. But I'm seeing a smaller challenge with our troops down there in terms of transport. The command cars. You see, commanders, the whole brigade are sharing one vehicle. So I thought, Honourable Minister and the command, let us help them now. Now that they are really rolling.
General Chanda is listening.
Now that they are rolling,
yes.
I would pray that whether through the budget we support them so that the armies get well equipped in terms of command cars. We see them doing a lot of work. So I thought this is the time
Thank you, to push. Honorable Sebikari. Then you, yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mine are short.
Yeah.
When you go to Annex D.
Annex D.
Annex D. When you talk about staff training, and you put amount of money, we should get statistics. How many are going to be trained?
I beg your pardon?
Like you unpack, they should unpack.
Okay. Unpacking the training. Okay.
When you say maintenance of other fixed assets, and you put money, why don't you unpack and we know what we're going to do?
Okay.
And some other things, heavy vehicle acquisition, light vehicle acquisition, office equipment, medical equipment, residential buildings improvements, they should unpack so that we can know how much each is going to cost and follow it up. Otherwise, if you leave it the way it is, we shall not know how much each is. This is Annex D.
That is under
page 3. Page 3.
Page 3, okay. Thank you, Honorable Sebikari. Okay. Okay. Yes. Honorable Bashir, then we conclude. I'll come to you, Honorable Nitwe.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, and Mubende is a regional food basket renowned for maize production. I saw something on page 12 in the first booklet here, performance of projects in financial year 2023-24. And in season A, our production department was able to harvest a yield of 8.2 metric tons from 15,000 acres. And that means they were able to harvest 537 metric tons from an acre. As a person from Mubende, I interest myself in knowing the kind of fertilizers. It's page 12. How is it possible to get 537 metric tons per acre? And maybe they will explain.
And they need to know that you are seasoned.
Yes, because we are also looking for better agronomic practices to help our people in the villages. In the same booklet, if you go to page 17, in the responses, response 5, issue 5. Issue 5 in the response, the minister said the ministry's allocation for financial year 2024-25 and the MTF is 3.8 trillion and 22.1 trillion. Yes. Again, it's a requirement of 9.123. How is that possible? If it is an error,
they should
we
correct
also want to know. It is page 17. Look at issue 5. Issue 6, sorry. Issue 6, the response. The response on issue 6. On page 7. So the Honorable Minister should consider if it's a typing error.
Yeah. Thank you. Now,
Chair, just information. You know, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable. Yes,
you
Godfrey.
see, Chair, I think this is the third time we are sitting on this committee of defense. I want to attest to the fact that we have repeatedly, whenever we are looking at the budget framework paper, discovered a mistake of this nature. There is a time we had to send the PS to go and harmonize these figures, and what she told us that this was an error. And I wonder how it can be an error. Every financial, every budgeting cycle, it becomes an error. It must be just a habit, because it has been happening always.
Thank you, but to error is human. Honorable Adenitwe, then we give you a chance to respond.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Mine is in Defense Forces shop.
Honorable Chair, before you leave it.
Thank you. That's clear, yeah. Honorable Adenitwe.
Thank you. It's on Defense Forces shop. Mine is on Chair, mine is on Defense Forces shop.
Defense Forces shop.
Chair, we have been appropriating money every year to this shop. But if you go to NTR, they don't reflect anything. Should I assume that whatever the items are being given out freely or are being donated?
Good question.
The second one is on
I hope you heard him. Every year, Parliament appropriates money to defense shop, but there is no corresponding NTL.
The second one is on ECOP security. That is guarding pipeline. And I know there is also petroleum police, police in charge of petroleum, I think headed by a commission. What do they do there? Because I assume that the UPDF should be left for external work forces to protect our borders. And the internal ones, we should actually use our police to do the internal security of this pipeline. The last one, Mr. Chair, is also on the neck and railway industries. Also, we have been giving them money, appropriating money. But when I was also looking in the NTR, I don't see anything which comes out. And yet it should be a cash cow for the Ministry of Defense. I don't know where, whatever they sell out, like now I know they sell explosives, they sell where do they sell guns, where do they put that revenue? Because it is also not reflected here. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable colleagues. This was a very engaging session. We are now going to give a chance.
I would like to request that you check on the discipline of the UPDF drive, or those who drive UPDF vehicles. Yeah, lately the public is all awash by the indiscipline of some of the drivers. So we need to also check on that. Then I also want to commend the ministry for the tree planting projects. I want to commend you for that. I see along Nakasongola trees are being planted, eucalyptus. Yeah, that is a good way to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Although you can do better in protecting the environment, it protects you, especially we camouflage.
Thank
so
you.
You would be the first champions to plant, to have the green canopy. Yeah, and for the 5 years, it housed you. So you can't be, thank you for raising it. Okay, Honorable Minister, over to your team.
Thank you.
Some of the technical responses, I can say, shall be put in writing and sent through the clerk. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, Honorable Chair, PS, I don't know whether you can give some quick answers to the technical questions. Then but as usual, we always note all of them and we write back all the time. Yes, all the time. Even if we give answers here, we have always been very prudent, and we have written. Even when we give some answers here, we go back and write and send. And Mr. Chairman,
that's actually true. Even today, you came with responses to the midterm review, so which is okay.
The what? The bill? No, the bill, sir. The bill is already on the in the cabinet. Yes. Yes. No, not the bill. They approved the policy. They approved the principles and the policy. But for the bill, there were a few issues where we needed to consult the High Command, which has not sat. But any time the bill, for us, we are through with everything now. We have, and we'll be here any time.
But Honorable Minister, you are sure that there are some things that are being implemented, effected outside the road that could be cured by that?
In fact, all the questions from Honorable Kawonda, they are right. You are very right on that one. Certainly, we are also pressed. We feel that this bill should be out of the way. But being that it affects many people, you know, you handle the biggest numbers of public servants, the army. So it was necessary that we move with everybody, and I think in the wisdom of the Commander-in-Chief said, let's go to the High Command so that when we go to Parliament, we all share.
So, Minister, are you committing that
content.
by the time we consider the MPS, the bill will be ready? Because for us, I personally want to declare my intentions
Honorable Kahonda
That's
is
right,
answering, so let him.
On
give
that
him a
one,
chance.
if not, then I will move a private member's bill.
Mbuya school land will be answered by the technical people.
Yes.
Honorable Kanya, quality education, you are very, very right. We agree with you, but what we have now, we have agreed with the commander-in-chief that our schools, all our schools and the training institutions should be centers of excellence. So instead of depending on, because you know, schools which we don't control, today you can say Budo is okay, then tomorrow they will say Budo has a problem. So we better have our own as centers of excellence. And we are doing this, and we are starting with this financial year we are discussing. Yes.
Honorable Minister, is even the technical people are going to come in with the...
Then the law,
On that issue,
I've
Chair,
talked about it.
About school and the health.
You need clarification or what?
Yes, Honorable Minister, the military barracks, health center, center of excellence. This information is based on the pain the UPDF officers go through. I was detained in one barracks, and several armed officers who had fought in Somalia came to me and said, and the man cried. He said, when I came from Somalia, I had money. My kid performed very well, was admitted in Budo, was only able to stay there for 2 years. I returned here. I had bought TV, I had bought mattress, motorcycle. I sold so that my kid could go for the 3rd year. After that, the kid dropped. And the man told me, do you think I am comfortable here? I am in pain, bleeding. And this is a simple policy. Egypt is implementing, South Korea is implementing. It is a decision of government that all schools, because we fund these school chairpersons, it is just passing a policy position that if you are a UPDF officer, a policeman, or a prison officer, your son or a daughter will have free and right access to have education to a school of their choice, to have health to a hospital of their choice. I'm telling you, they don't need salary enhancement, they don't need anything. They will work honestly to defend us. That's why some of them commit crime. I beg, Honorable Minister, think about policy change.
Chair. No.
Chair.
No, Honorable Massa.
The UPDF bill.
Can
take
wait
note
for a
of,
response.
Chair, with your permission, sir.
Absolutely not.
Because
Please,
it will even help the ministers.
Don't hijack.
Since Honorable Oboth Oboth is our kingpin in the Bukedi, this will help us.
Macho, just a moment. Thank you. Honorable Minister.
But, my minister, yes. How do you allow your Mukedi to be thrown, to be left out? Because the issue I'm talking about, as we talk now, Chair,
Honorable
we
Macho,
have some...
Honorable Macho, excuse me, switch off. Yeah, I'll give you a chance. Just not now.
No, Chair, the governor of Kenya, Dr. Toma, was in Busia on 1st of this year complaining about UPDF officers in the waters who cross to Kenyan waters and cause issues. And this is an issue that mandates the amendment of the bill to be done as quick as possible. Now, I'm bringing out such matters because of...
Can you get it? You see, the problem is, and don't assume that where you are... No. Honorable commitment, we are here, they raised it.
Chair, information.
Let's get a response. If you are not satisfied with the response, then you seek for clarification. It was adequately addressed. We want to hear a response.
With the language you are using to me as a member of parliament of Busia. Moreover, I was voted with more votes than yours.
Excuse me.
Honorable Minister, please.
Thank you. We take note of the policy recommendations from Honorable Kanya for policy shift. I think that's what we are intending to do now, but we take note of the policy recommendations. As with the leave of the Honorable Sempija, who has intentionally made his mouth busy at my expense.
Intentionally, yes.
And asked me to relay and try to respond to some of the issues. Like the recruitment, Honorable Sauda raised the issue of recruitment. The next recruitment will be really influenced by the recommendations of this committee and Parliament. So we believe that all will be well. And I think other issues which are raised here, the technical staff have taken note. And as you had already guided, that we could have the benefit of responding to them. And I wanted to know whether the PS had quick ones and somebody was objecting to that, or you would want to respond to them all in writing so that Yes, PS.
No, I think, Honorable Obos, before you take leave of the microphone, I want you to, Honorable Kahonda, put up a question on the amendment of the bill. Come clear on that. And that's why your comrade is up in arms. Come clear on the bill, on the amendment of the bill.
If there is any body or institution that is interested in the amendment, is the Ministry of Defense and the UPDF together, as we hear.
Okay.
We met a few procedural challenges, and as Honorable Sempija indicated, that is what is awaiting. Unfortunately, we cannot determine the time and when the next High Command will sit. 1 or 2 issues only.
For which you seek guidance from the High Command?
Yes, we need to, because there has to be a decision of the High Command on the matters of new other things that came up after Cabinet had approved the objectives. So we are on course, everything is fine. Honorable Macho, my fellow Mukedi, be firm that even the issues you've indicated about our UPDF officers going over, JECOS is here, has taken note, and will handle with the fisheries protection. And so the matter is, we've done our part. The Attorney General has done the part. Everyone, we are just waiting for you when we come with the bill.
Then we process it.
And it will be a bill that will solve many things for the UPDF.
Thank you. Honorable
my question is just on to guard privates. We get that. The issue of civilians,
donning military and building military headquarters.
The General Muhanga.
Let's get responses now.
Commander through the minister.
Let me give you a quick one.
Actually, I seek your indulgence, Honorable Chair. I'm first of all sorry that our colleague, Honorable Macho, went a little bit overboard, but it is because of the issues we have in the waters.
Order, Chair.
I'm building my point. Let me build
but how did I go overboard, Chair, really?
Honorable Keyo, can you submit?
So the minister referred to General Chanda,
yes.
And it would be our prayer that actually as people who come from the lake,
yes,
we get a comprehensive
from
answer.
Honorable Chanda.
Yeah, from Chanda
so we'll give a chance to JECOS to comment on.
Because it's an issue
yes.
that actually is affecting the two countries, and it can cause tension and eventually cause even a war.
Okay, very pertinent. But before General Chanda comes in,
right, sir,
I had asked the Honorable in charge of Veterans Affairs, because Honorable colleagues came up with questions on the Veterans Project. Do you have anything to clarify? I already see a mistake here, which I brought to Commissioner Mabonga. Okay.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Huda. Honorable Sewungu, please. Okay.
Thank you very much, Chair, for giving me that opportunity to clarify some few issues. I want to thank you.
Yes, Happy New Year, Ndugu. Good morning. Is it good afternoon? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, what do
Honorable Minister, Uganda, Soka, Ministry, Matanga Center,
ekituufu kiri nti ng'obubage bwe mbulaba twandyesaaza trillion 9 n'ekitundu naye tuyinako trillion 3 n'obutundu 8 okusobola okulabirira amajje, okulabirira okukuuma ensalo z'eggwanga n'ebirala twandyetaaza trillion 9 n'ekitundu. Naye tuli wano nga finance ekyesobola ekiri mu nsawo etulaga nti esobola okutuwa trillion 3 n'obutundu nga 9. So tuyina kimuyita unconsidered priorities which are underfunded or even unfunded.
Government tadenyesera ku nsonga y'obudumu obugenda otambuza amafuta. Naye mutegeezezza akakiiko nti temulina ssente ziteekayo basirikale kukuuma ekifo kino. Era mwetaaga ssente
mmeka? Ssente ezo zibadde ntono omwaka ogumu, biliyoni nga 2 n'ekitundu, okubeera naffe tumanyi nti eggwanga tusobola kusaba kinene, naye nga bwe mumanyi nti mubadde muwulira bannaffe omanyi experience ezizze nazo zituwadde ekyokuyiga. Muwulira pipelines eziva e Russia ezigenda mu Europe, muwulira n'eziri underwater engeri gye bazikubamu, bituwadde okugamba kino tuyinza okulowooza nti tujja kuteekaawo pipe tugende twebake, naye ndowooza tebikola. So kyetaaga okubeera n'obukuumi bwa pipeline ate obuli obw'omulembe, si kutambulawo butambuzi, kubanga omuntu ne bw'oba otambulawo butambuzi oli ayinza okukozesa amagezi amalala gonna ag'omu ttaka oba ag'omu bbanga. So twetaagawo obukuumi nga tuweetegekedde. Omulimu guno si buli muntu nti atwagaliza birungi byereere.
Ensonga y'emisaala mulimu okwongeza emisaala gy'abannasayansi n'abajaasi okuva ku ranka ya private mpaka captain.
Ssente ezo tezinnabaawo era kubanga si kirungi kukisirikira, twetaaga ffenna tuli wamu mu gavumenti yemu, palamenti ne executive, naye kirungi ffenna okutambulira wamu ne tumanya nti waliwo obuzibu ate mu kintu ky'otayinza kugaana kusasula, kubanga constitution ekugamba emisaala olina ogisasula nga bwe giba gisaliddwa, ate olina okubeera fair, olina okubeera omwenkanya mu b'osasula bonna. Toyinza kugaa nti abascientist ab'ebweru mu public service basasulwa bwe bati, ate abascientist abali mu majje ate n'obasasula mu ngeri endala, ate nga bye bakola ffenna tubiraba nti bascientist be tulina bakola emirimu era n'abalala gye bakola. Nga bwe mwalaba mu COVID, abasawo ab'amagye bakola omulimu munene, baali ku front line mu COVID, ebyokuzimba amasomero, amalwaliro, okuzimba ekisaawe Entebbe, mulabye omulimu ogukoleddwa. Buli muntu yali alowooza nti engineering brigade teyinza gukola. Ekisaawe ky'e Namboole mukirabye, buli omuntu yali tasuubira mulimu gufaana bwe gutyo guli. Nabali ab'ebweru bagambye ate kino tukyewuunyiza. So ndowooza twetaaga bonna ba scientists nga ogyeko okuba nti ono ali mu uniform oba olimu. So awo tukyafunyemu obuzibu nti esente tezitumala zebatuteeredde mu ceiling nga bwe mwagivudde eva mu finance. Obukuumi mu ggwanga muno okukuuma kwonna kwa wamu nga gavumenti tulina okukuuma abantu bonna n'ebintu byabwe ate okusinziira ku threat kubanga eriyo omusajja andi ku kona wano nga talina teri yali amugambye naku nti nja kukuba oluyi kati oyo omusajja okumugaa tumukuume n'amaanyi mangi oba omaze biseera naye waliwo abalina obuzibu ndowooza obw'enjawulo ate nga gavumenti si kirungi kulinda kubanga abantu waliwo ababadde boogera ndowooza ensi awamu n'ekitwala obaana bana abakola byokwerinda abalala abakwatibwako nebalwala nti omusajja ndowooza ayogera bwogezi naye namalirizibwa nga bamuseera so ebintu ebyo bibaddewo era si kintu kipya n'olwekyo gavumenti buli lweraba ekintu bwekiti egenda ekyusa netulaba nti so okukuuma omuntu yenna ne bwe kyandibaddewo oba tekibaddewo kweyo keesi bagibuulirizaako eyo eri mu kubuulirizibwako bajja tubuulira naye okukuuma nga nkitwadde awamu ekyo kyaffe kya gavumenti n'eggwanga kisinziira ku bukuumi ki omuntu bwandyetaaze era tusobola obbumuwa basaba olukusa waliwo abasaba olukusa ndowooza sibimanyi bye bakole eyo naye mu mateeka ndowooza waliwo abasaba olukusa bwe kyandibadde n'okugenda nti ogenda kukola ebyemizannyo ebyo byakatemba ng'okozesa ebirabikanga emmundu oba emmundu zennyini oteeka okuba nga ofunye olukusa olw'enjawulo.
Honorable Minister, wabaddewo ebibuuzo ku Operation Shujaa nti baliyo ddala mu mateeka era bavaayo ddi?
Baliyo mu mateeka era nga bw'owulira embizzeemu baliyo mu mateeka. Ndowooza ekyali kitabula abantu baffe nti palamenti yali tetegeezeddwa mu butongole naye palamenti twagitegeeza mu butongole era ne tuleeta n'endagaano ezateekebwako emikono wakati wa gavumenti ya Congo naffe ate nga bwe kyali nti bw'obanga olutalo luba lutalo ekintu ng'ogenda okikola mu kuzinduukiriza toyinza kumala kulanga mu mawulire nti kiki naye oluvannyuma kyakolebwa ng'amateeka bwe gakola ki bwe galagira era palamenti emanyi era kati kyova olaba nti ebintu tubireeta mu lujjudde nti bannaye omulimu ogugenze mu maaso sayidi eri gwetaaga okuwagirwa kuba omulimu ogukoleddwa ne gutuweesa ekitiibwa era sayidi eyo wetuli n'abantu b'e Congo bw'oyogera ku UPDF abakunyiigira baagala nnyo abasirikale baffe olw'empisa n'omulimu gwe babakoledde bazzeeyo okukola emirimu gyabwe bazzeeyo okulima kyali tekisuubirwa enguudo ezo eziva Beni okugenda mu Mambasa zaali zonna ziggaddwa zabeerangako buli kaseera nga zitegebwamu bomu emmotoka bazitega bazookya nga era nga bwe mwali mubiwulira ne kati n'ebyobusuubuzi bitandiseawo okutambula. Ate kakati ekyo bakibuuza kusinziira ku nteekateeka y'abakulembeze b'amawanga gombi oba okusinziira ku bwetaavu obuliwo omulimu ogwo.
Ekisooka eggwanga lirina olutalo lulimu e Congo ng'ate ekyo kireetedde mwalabye twafiiriddwa n'ennyonyi zaffe abasirikale baffe abali ku lutalo n'eggwanga kati toyinza kgenda ku lutalo nga toyina nsimbi kati kyova olaba baataddemu embalirira ya trillion 9 kati ate gavumenti oba finance ne bawako trillion 3 zino esente teziyinza kumala biki bye balina okukola wabula ate ne zino 3 bazikozesezza batya. UPDF mandeeti yayo okukuuma ensalo z'eggwanga obulamu n'ebintu bya bannayuganda twandigambye tubabongere ssente babakubanga ne ssente zino zennyini bazikozesezza bulungi bye beetaaga bingi essente ze beetaaga nnyingi ezitabaweereddwa naye ne kwezi entono ezibaweereddwa basaana batuwa assurances nti zigenda ziyambe omuntu wa bulijjo okukuuma obulamu bwe n'ensalo zaffe
UPDF tuli Somalia, UPDF tuli Congo, naye wogendere Somalia ate wano nga ne bano bennyini batuyingidde tetuyina bwe twerwanako kubanga batuuka n'okutuuka Kamwenge. Ekyokubiri, UPDF ye institution gye tusuubira okubanga egoberera amateeka. Bw'olabanga kati ebbanga lye bamaze Congo tebafunanga mukisa kujjaho kufuna resolution ya parliament okusaba parliament ebakkirize okubeera Congo. Kino bakikola mu bugenderevu. Kati kyovuddde olaba itemu yaabwe eya biliyoni 22 fenga parliament kitusiba nnyo emiguwa okuzikiriza nga baliyo mu kuyisa olugayo mu parliament nga tebafunye lukusa oluva eri parliament. Kati kyovuddde olaba nti no budget yaabwe nene ebiwaweereddwa bitono naye nga ne mu ebyo mukyalimu ebituli be balina okuddayo bazibe okusobola okufuna legitimacy ya parliament.
Ojja kubanga gonjera otamaguzi ebibima abasivilian omuntu omusirikale okutuka okwambala ennyota oba okwambala ekyambalo ky'amagye ayita mu bugubi bw'amaanyi abonaabona nnyo. Naye amateeka ga Uganda gakkiriza omuntu atali mutendeke mu magye tasobola kuumwa magye. Eyo nsobi nnene. Ekyokubiri, bw'okebera mu bajeti ya UPDF tebakulaga sente ba civilian abakozesa amagye bakuma ze basasulayo. Kati bulolaba omusirikale ayambadde red top ayina kubanga disciplining amagye gano amalala. Naye ekiri kati mu ggwanga abantu bavudde ku poliisi baagala kuumwa amagye. Ekyo kikyamu. Civilian omuntu atali mutendeke mu magye tateekwa kuumwa b'amagye kubanga amagye gataasa ggwanga ku external aggression ku muntu abagalumbi. Naye bano ndaba bakitwala ng'ekitali mu makulu. Ndebye wano ne Minister Justice Constitutional Affairs alina abajasi nga 10 bamukuuma. Civilian abo bonna balina kuumwa poliisi ate ne mu poliisi balina bakuuma nga basasulayo sente. Si kituufu alimba poliisi weri esobola okukuuma abantu abo era muba mwagadde musobola okukozesa security agencies endala naye nga si magye. Amagye gali mu kiti kyagwe kirala era nabo bakimanyi. Ekyo kiri nafu y'amagye. Kati kugambye bava ku infantry kati ba civilian baagala military police ye bebakuuma nga baani. Eyo nsobi nnene nnyo nnyo. Ekyambalo ky'amagye tulina kirekera ekitiibwa kyakyo mu bujjuvu n'ennyota zaakyo. Ffe basewungu abataagasoma tunoonye poliisi etukolera ebyaffe oba abagunda ba local defense naye si bajasi kuma ba civilian.
Y'amagye okubanga yemu eweereddwa emirimu egitali gy'amagye nsonga nkulu nnyo era ekyavuddemu eggwanga lyekanze bwe lyalabye ng'abo ababadde bagenda aboogerwako nti babadde baagala kutemula Pastor Bugingo ate okukakkana ng'omusirikale w'amagye yafiiriddemu. Ekyebuuzibwa amagye gakendezebwa ddi okuteekebwa mu mirimu egitali gyago? Lwaki buli muntu wano yenna kati atandise kujjayo magye? Ekitegeeza amagye galiwo okusasula na kupangisibwa. Tulina okutegeezebwa mu circumstances ki awatali poliisi oli n'asalawo ayingire akozese bubi amagye oba UPDF ng'ate ssemateeka. Amagye galina kukuuma nsalo za ggwanga, galina okukuuma bannayuganda obulamu bwabwe n'ebintu byabwe okuva kwabo abava ebweru abandi badde bayingirira eggwanga. Kati kino kye bakola tusaba abakulira ebyokwerinda by'eggwanga bamanye nti nno abo be bakozesa mu mirimu gyabwe babafudde ba house boy, babalundi sente, babatemesa amafaamu, babakozesa emirimu egitali gyabwe egy'obwa seculiko. Egyo emirimu giddeyo mu bitongole byagyo, poliisi etwale obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okukuuma abantu n'ebintu byabwe, amagye gaggyibwe mu kuzannyisibwa bwe gatyo. Era nga komiti tetujja kukola ripooti nga tebannaba kutuvaayo kutubuulira Kopolo Muhumuza yabadde akola ki ne Pastor Bugingo n'okufa kwe kwavudde ku ki? kuba kati batandise okuttibwa mu mawanga ag'ebweru mu bazigu ate naffe wano munda batandise okufiiramu. Tetujja kukkiriza ng'akakiiko okulaba ng'ekitongole kye tukulira kye tutunuulira ekya UPDF kijaajaamizibwa ne kikozesa n'emirimu egitali gyakyo. Poliisi ebasaba mu bitundu we beetaagisiza. Poliisi ki ekyagiremye okugiwa esikooti eri Pastor Bugingo? Pastor Bugingo naye wa bulabe, ffe gwe tumanyi ng'omuntu aliyowa emyoyo gy'abantu, kati yeetaagisa barakisi y'amagye yebeemukuuma abuulire bayibuli ye mu magye. Poliisi esobola bulungi omukuuma obulungi, naye eno ebeera abuse ekolebwa ku institution. Naye tubagamba nti abo abakola mu kitongole kya UPDF, abakulira UPDF tebasaanye kutwala amagye ng'enju yaabwe, tebasaanye kutwala amagye okubakozesa emirimu egitali gyabwe. Kyetuvumirira, tekikkirizibwa mu ssemateeka, tewali na ngeri yonna gye bayinza okukijustifyingamu, tekisaanidde kuba bwe kityo.